reading through the entire Bible, one chapter a day from the Message translation of the Bible. And today we get to the book of Ezra. So this is the book, the introduction to the book of Ezra. History had not treated the people well, and they were in decline. A superpower military machine, Babylon, had battered them, and then, leaving their city and temple, a mound of rubble hauled them off into exile. Now, 128 years later, a few Jews back in Jerusalem had been trying to put the pieces back together decade after weary decade, but it was not going well at all. They were hanging on by their fingernails, and then Ezra arrived. This is an extreme case of a familiar story, repeated with variations in most centuries and in most places in the world. Men and women who find their basic identity in God, as God reveals himself in Israel and Messiah. Don't find an easy time of it. They never have. They never will. Their identity is under constant challenge and threat, sometimes by hostile assault, at other times by subtle and smiling seductions. Whether by assault or seduction, the people of God have come perilously close to obliteration several times. We are never out of danger. Because of Ezra, Israel made it through. God didn't leave Ezra to do this single-handedly. He gave him substantial and critical help in the rescue operation in the person of Nehemiah, whose work providentially converged with his. Important details of the Ezra story are in the memoirs of Nehemiah, the book that follows this one. The people of God identity was recovered and preserved. Ezra used worship and text to do it. Ezra engaged them in the worship of God, the most all-absorbing, comprehensive act in which men and women can engage. This is how our God-formed identities became most deeply embedded in us. And Ezra led them into an obedient listening to the text of Scripture. Listening and following God's revelation are the primary ways in which we keep attentively obedient to the living presence of God among us. Ezra made his mark. Worship and text continue to be the foundational for recovering and maintaining identity as the people of God. And tomorrow we'll start on Ezra chapter 1.